I'm really, really excited. I've got my album cover and I've got my name for this new artist I'm working on, well, project I'm working on, which is kind of like sci-fi dungeon synth stuff, which although some people be like, no, it's not dungeon synth. Yeah, cosmic synth, it's sci-fi stuff set in the era of the dungeon. So it's like future fantasy, which is weird, I know. But, so I've got this cool album artwork, which was kind of inspired by playing the Atari when I was a kid, specifically, Missile Launch. I forget the name of the games. And Space Invaders and all those games. The cover you'd get on the little cartridge. Just loved them. I'd look at them and be like, oh my God, they're like worlds. And the name of the artist is going to be called Void Seer, which, yes, I know is like a Yu-Gi-Oh character, but yeah, it's awesome. It kind of, for me, it's like, ooh, Seer makes me think of like the ye olde times, and Void makes me think of the space and maybe a bit of sadness. But I'm going to be cracking on with another track for that album, which would be track 4. Wrote track 3 in the previous video. So let's dive in. Right, so I've got Surge XT loaded up here. Obviously, I don't want to start off with that. Now, returning to my story, I kind of want... just more of this be more of like a vibe track rather than necessarily like something is happening in this. So let's get some pads loaded up. Ooh, choir pad thing. I just love this. Sold. Let's go down to 100. Let's write that. Okay, so that's kind of the basis for the track. This is all very fun. And the idea, again, is that I kind of just let the inspiration flow and don't... This is one of the things I teach in all my courses, which is like, write separately to editing. There is minute editing that you do, like which I just did, but don't edit at the same time. As in, don't be don't be critical of the writing whilst it's happening. Just let it happen. Do I like that more? I think I do. Right, second time round. Change it up. So we go to the B flat and then land on the E. And then we do this again, but this is what I do with so many ways to write music. The fourth time round, we just take that E flat. So this is the fourth iteration of the sequence. Then the fourth iteration, I just give it another change. So now we actually have a 38-second idea that actually changes and grows as it progresses. The only repetition we get is you repeat the first and third bar and the second, and that's it. I really like this pad. This is really nice. Now, I've just loaded up a pad called Canadians. I really hope this is a reference to Boards of Canada. Oh, this is the business. This is the business. I forgot what I just played. I really liked it. Now, the issue I do have with Boards of Canada inspired pads is the tuning is sometimes a bit dicey, which might be the case with this one. Let's try that. It's a bit loud, but that is pretty much what I would like to layer on top of this awesome synthesizer choir pad thing. I might try it in that register actually. So, I mean, that sounds like a different idea, to be fair. I'm not sure I need that C repeating. Let's delete that. Maybe it's just, oh, 16th notes, no thank you. Oh, 8th notes, no thank you. Maybe it's just a case of that. Yeah, that's better, isn't it? And now I'm going to end it there. And now it's two iterations of the same thing. So the second time we hear it, I want it to be different. Da, 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 da. Let's try that. So I just moved a couple of notes, if you're listening. Maybe up to the A flat instead. Yes, the A flat really then makes me want to go home to the G. I'm just testing. Does it sound better an octave higher? It does. I also think maybe I soften the top edge of that choir. Yeah, that's a bit better, isn't it? Oh, yes. Quite bad thing. Canadians. Right. Although we are 20 seconds in, do I want something else to come in there? Kind of like a trailer ping, but not in the world of trailers. So let's try a pluck. Ooh, Mr. Sparkle. Okay, no, thank you, Mr. Sparkle. Oh yeah, that'll do. Mystic. I'm just going to add a couple of ideas to this. E flat. And then one more, probably the B flat. Yeah. There we go. Because that landing on that B flat there makes us want to come back into that C. And then here. I might put that mystic ping through the little plate, just to kind of send it further away a little bit. That's better. Oh. I'm enjoying this. Right, I'm going to take that out. So that when this Canadian line comes in, the ping isn't too distracting. I could turn it down, but I quite like it being like that. That last one, these ones here, these long ones, they don't need to be that long in that Canadian line. Canadian line. That synth line. Just because then they kind of bleed too much into the next note. Let's load up something else. I kind of want to have an ostinato coming on this. It could be plucks, but I'm kind of thinking keys. I'm excited because I haven't really Dived? David? I haven't really gone into keys. Too churchy. I mean, the name. It was in the name, wasn't it? If I put this in a reverb, maybe that would be pretty good. And then let's just chuck in a single band EQ. Just chop off those muddy bits. Here we go. Okay, that sounds quite nice. There we go, there's our repeated idea. Doesn't need to be anything more complicated than that. Maybe the second time round I don't actually hear the stop saying Canadian! Damn you. Maybe actually the second time round we don't hear that top melody line because I want to let the ostinato sit there and just be enjoyed. What I want here is I've got these pings. I want those to carry on. Then if I join that and loop that. Okay, and then what happens if I cut out the choir pad thing and leave the... Nice. Now if I drop that down an octave. No, I like to higher up. Then we can bring that back in. Can repeat the whole thing. That should do the job. Oh, sorry, minor interruption there. Where was I? Yeah, and I think what I might do is fade this out. Fade the ostinato out. Then I'm going to create a fade at the main output. Yeah, undo that. Let's put the end of the wave files. Great. Alright, and then give the impression that the track continues as it fades out. Done. Right, what I'm going to do is I can't actually remember where Logic projects, so many projects, fantasy, sci-fi fantasy. I need to rename that. Voidseer. What I did a plot for Retribution last. Did I add any mastering in? I did. Let's add that to I say mastering, tape destruction. Let's add that to the track. How does it fit? Right, what I've got to do is I've got to remove all of these little notches on Pro Q3 and then allow the track to reveal itself to me so that I can find out where I need to adjust the mix. For those of you listening, I'm just watching on Pro Q3, watching it reveal itself in the visualizer and then just notching those peaks out. That's without the Pro Q3. That's with Pro Q3. It just softens it really nicely. Right, done. I need to come up with a name for this. So it's kind of like, So what names have I got? I've got Lights in the Sky, I've got The Walls Are Moving, and I've got Retribution, a plot for Retribution. This is kind of like Astral Fields in the woods. Maybe Astral Glade. Celestial Glade. The Celestial... Done. Save. Naming process. Tick. No. So many files. Fantasy. Sci-fi fantasy. Right. The Celestial Glade. Oh, wait. I quite like not using capital letters on every word. A plot for Retribution, Lights in the Sky, The Walls Are Moving, the Celestial Glade. Nice. It's almost like the Celestial Glade is where these aliens have come from, or maybe this is the village. Either way, it's got a nice vibe to it. So let's. Yeah, I'm pleased with this. Bounce it, export it. Celestial Glade done. I'm gonna put this through another mastering plugin. I actually currently use the mastering plugin that's you get with your Lander membership, which I actually think is really good. I haven't tried the DistroKid one. I know lots of people talk about the AI mastering is a load of rubbish, but actually, if I step back from my music ponce self, step back from music nerd self, and just listen to it as a listener, I go, yeah, that sounds a little smoother. Tick. So, as you know, I'm a big fan of done is better than perfect and not wasting your time on minutiae. And I know some people's job is minutiae, but for me, my job is creating. And not creating beautifully polished things. My job is creating things. And I'm not that fussy about the finished product. I think I read something, I think it was in Austin Kleon's newsletter where he talked about, actually, it was a quote from somebody else. I can't remember who the original quote was by. But it was, if your writing is 70% there, release it. And I think that is brilliant. You go, yeah, 70%. I mean, isn't that almost isn't that almost a distinction in like university? If you got 70%, you'd be like, done. I mean, at least it's a 2-1 or something like that, A's are often 70 or 80%. So basically saying that 70%, when you think of 70%, if it's 70% done, you think of that and go, oh, but there's 30% left that isn't finished. You go, actually, well, who cares? If I got 70% in an exam, I would be like, we're going to the pub. So, I mean, I'm not going to go to the pub because it's only 9:15 in the morning. And this is my fun project time, get doing my fun projects in the morning. So anyway, this is Voidseer, the track Celestial Glade with my cool album artwork. And I'll probably be cracking on with the next track. I aim to get 7 tracks done for each album. I used to think that everything had to be the holy grail of 10 tracks, mostly, and I blame Weezer's Blue Album for that. I remember getting Weezer's Blue Album and thinking, wait a second, 10 tracks? Back then I was a big Smashing Pumpkins fan, so I'd come from worlds of 13, 14, 15 tracks, or even Melancholy and Infinite Sadness, which is a double album. I go to Weezer's Blue Album and I go, 10 tracks? Dude, you could have given us some more. I put it on, it finishes after 30 minutes, and I go, well, I want to hear it again. Whereas the Pumpkins album, I wouldn't necessarily get to listen to all of the tracks, so I'd end up skipping tracks to get to the ones I really wanted to listen to. So my approach is this, 7 tracks is the threshold. If you release 6 tracks, it's an EP. 7 tracks is an album. So that's my aim. We've got 4 tracks, 3 more tracks, and then I've got my space, cosmic, synth, dungeon, sci-fi track album done. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. You're awesome. Subscribe if you want to see more of this. Click like. If you're listening on the podcasts, then please subscribe. But please leave a review. It makes a huge difference for me. I know everyone says that on podcasts, and I sit there listening to it thinking, really, does it make a huge difference? And I can guarantee it really does. One of my previous podcasts, the Trailer Music Composers podcast, I had tons and tons of 5-star reviews. Well, I say tons, like 20, 30, which for me is tons. And it was incrementally increasing the amount of downloads I was getting because it was exposing it. But then what happened? This is the worst part. Somebody left me a 1 or 2-star review, and my views kind of slipped. And I looked at the 1-star review or whatever it was, and it was like, this is an amazing podcast. I can't stop listening. I've been binging. This is so, and it was just like the loveliest review. And then obviously I accidentally pressed the wrong star rating. So whoever that is, it's okay. It's okay. I don't, I forgive you, and I forgive myself. But yeah, it does actually make a big difference, those reviews. And same with if you're watching this on YouTube or even Substack, which is where I'm hosting these podcasts because it's free, which is awesome. It's just those tiny things that you do. And I know there are some of you watching and listening who watch and listen every week and click like and comment every week, and you are absolute heroes. So yeah, just a little like just sends a signal saying, oh, someone likes this. Let's put it to someone else. Right, that's enough of that. See you next time.